What's your attitude towards the ego of others and how you relate to it?
Well, yeah, I started even in my beginning. I just lived such a rich life. A full life. That my first album I came out. I was 26, and I had seen so many things in the street. So my attitude was like, man, I've seen so much, and I don't have anything to prove. I know who I am. I'm a very self-aware person. So when you're self-aware, even when you're dealing with someone's ego, you know when to allow it to, you allow their ego to live in its own space. It's the problem is when you engage that energy, that's when there's a problem. If you engage the ego with your ego, then it's like, okay, now something has to happen. It could keep escalating to a level that can be irreversible. But if you don't engage the ego, if you know how to manipulate or play around with the ego,
but that's weird in itself to people,
and you give light back to darkness,
right?
It's very difficult.
People don't know how to take that, especially at a younger age. Now, when they're a bit older, they can probably understand what you're doing. But if you're in a room and people are bringing all of that wild energy into a room, and you just take a step back into the shadow a little bit and just let them do that, they would almost take offense to that. Like, why are you playing along? Why are you getting involved in this? Did you have experiences like that where people thought, I don't know how to take Jay. I don't know how to deal with Jay. He doesn't engage with us on that level.
Yeah, I'm sure, and a lot of times what that also can be, you can misinterpret that as arrogance.
In its own way.
Yeah. If someone doesn't engage you in the way that you believe they should, then people's like, he's arrogant. He's act like he's above everybody.
Yeah.
Like, no, I just don't want to argue with you about stupid shit. I just really don't have time to argue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've had a lot of dumbass arguments over the years. Like some on Periscope, some on Instagram, some on YouTube, but a lot in person. And as you get older, you look back, you realize it's like, why did I invest that much energy into that stupid ass argument, especially on Facebook? Hey, first of all, or lastly, or whatever, how we gonna do this intro, you motherfuckers on Facebook are angry. Like, y'all wanna see the angriest people in America? Go find millennials on Facebook, specifically people that are 30 plus. Y'all are some angry motherfuckers. Like, god damn.
My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pond.
My name is Dorian from Group82Music.com, and right here we got Jay-Z talking about how to deal with egos. This is such a great clip, man, and he says a lot, and the interviewer says a lot. Zane Lowe, shout out to him, and it's about growth and maturation without preaching, but from life experience. So when you're a child, you get told what to do all the time. Don't do that. Don't pick up that. Don't put that in your mouth. Come here. Sit down. Stand up. And you are constantly learning and fighting for your independence. This comes to a head when you are a teenager, right? Because your parents are still talking to you like you're that 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, but now you're 13, 14, 15. And so you think that you know things because you have mastered how to stand up, how to sit down, how to put shit in your mouth, wooty-woo. But in your parents' mind, that's basic shit. Now preparing you for adulthood, and you really don't know nothing about that. So that's where the contention is. So you fight with your parents about that. You also take that same attitude to the streets. You want to prove to people that you know shit. Whether it's school, whether it's sports, whether it's music, whatever arguments you want to have, you want to prove that you know shit. And on social media, it continues throughout your life. When you get out of high school, you go to college, you go to the military, you go to work, and once you get married, and once you have kids, and get in your 30s and all this stuff, you continue to have these issues of wanting to prove to people that you're right. I was one of those people. And the reason I was like that, because I didn't have shit else. Of course, I've always had my family. I was born to a great family. But as far as like the impact that I could have on the world, I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the finances. I didn't have the connections. So I had all these thoughts in my mind and in my brain that this is how things are going to go. And this is how powerful I am. This is how impactful I am. But I couldn't execute it because I didn't have the outlets. I didn't have the mediums. Right? So therefore, it led to stupid ass arguments about sports, about the Redeem Team versus the Dream Team, or stupid arguments about politics or things like that with the people close to me, because that's the only place I could have an impact. And then social media came. And now I can talk about the things that I want to talk about in a one-sided conversation, essentially a monologue to all of y'all, and then I can continue the conversation on social media, but I can step away from it. I'm able to articulate all my thoughts and step away from it. I don't have to engage with the stupid shit. I never, ever get mad about social media. Ever. I don't get mad about it. I don't need to. Because it's nothing to me. If I don't want to deal with it, I turn it off. It's not like when you're in a room with somebody you don't like who gonna say something's gonna piss you off and you want to smack the fucking taste out of their mouth. You gotta sit there and deal with them, especially if they're in your family. Social media, I just cut it off. And once you learn how to navigate that, you're able to look at people from a different perspective. You're able to observe without wondering what they're thinking about. You're able to take the psychology of behaviors and see the positive in everybody, while also simultaneously seeing the negative. And you're able to use and assess that for your life, for your business, for other decisions that you want to make that's going to make you money, which gets you more resources, which for me in turn gives me more power, gives me more of an anchor, so I don't have to engage in that shit. There's a lot of reason y'all be saying shit in the YouTube comments. I just don't really give a fuck. Sometimes I engage, but most of the time I don't really care because I know what I'm doing. I have a brand. I make content every day. I have fans. I'm getting paid for this. So when Shit Dick Willie 6363 wants to say, hey, this sucks, and he has 0 subscribers, I'm not gonna listen to you. You have no idea how this works. I am light years ahead of you, and it's setting up my family for future success. Let people have their egos. As long as they're not trying to damage you specifically, let them have their egos. And in this political climate we have right now, we have an ego that's sitting in the chair of Commander-in-Chief. Let that man have his fucking ego. How much is that really altering your life? Really? Like, really? Because he talks about some shit? Don't listen to him. Because he tweets about some shit? Why are you following him? You ain't got to listen to that motherfucker. Your life's still going to be the same regardless, especially if you black. So stop worrying about shit you can't really control or why people's words are the way they are. People do crazy shit. There is somebody out there that does everything. There is somebody out there right now who wakes up every single morning, takes a shit, grabs it out of the toilet, and eats that shit because they feel like it's good for their body. There's somebody that does everything. So let people do what the fuck they want to do. As long as it's not directly impacting your life, why do you give a fuck? So for any of y'all that are kind of dealing with that same thing, start thinking like that and see what it does for you. Y'all want to have more of a conversation? Hit me up on Instagram, DM me, click the links in the bio for one-on-one coaching session. Click the link in the YouTube box for one-on-one coaching session right now. Mouth the Pod. Y'all stay true.
Daddy's coming after donuts. Killing like a Michael Porter. Killing like a Michael Porter. Killing like a Michael Porter. Daddy's coming after donuts. Music.com.